Well, I've seen the movie maybe 25 to 30 times. I'm an executive producer on the project, so I was there through the whole editing process. I saw the good, the bad, and the ugly.
The ugly.
No,
I'm glad you didn't look at me when she said the ugly.
I'm kidding. There was no bad or ugly. You're perfect. You have no limitations.
Yes.
But I've seen the movie so many times and thought, oh gosh, I'm going to be so nervous. I'm going to be so nervous. Or I'm not going to feel anything. I have no idea what the audience is going to, I felt like because I'd seen it so many times, I couldn't have that perspective. But being in that audience with that energy, it really was like watching it like through their eyes for the first time, that every moment was new to them. And they were so engaged. I mean, they were a really engaged audience. And I think, that's the nature of the audiences at Sundance. They're here to love film, to watch, they want to like your film. So, but, in silent scenes, you could have heard a pin drop. And whenever there was one moment of comedy or laughter, they were laughing. And so, to me, it felt like they were a really engaged audience.
Yeah, I mean, the energy, to just add to the energy of the room, we premiere at the Echoes Theater at noon, and on Sunday, which everybody had to get up early to go see these movies, because Saturday night was the night before. But that being,
really? Is that how that works?
Apparently that's what a calendar is. I disagree with it. But hey, that's just gonna have to.
Venezuela.
Yeah, we don't have Saturdays over there. It's just a long ass Sunday, to be honest. But we were just really blessed. It was a sold out crowd, and when we were shooting it, we think about these moments. These moments that we built within each scene, and you just hope that it translates. You just hope that people can they're along with you, throughout the whole movie. And every beat worked, and we were just, it was a really blessed day. Very exciting.
Just little things like me in America. We're just talking about today. This moments with Wilmer where he would improv little lines and stuff like that we found so hilarious. You're like, oh my God, I hope everybody finds it hilarious. And then when boom, the whole audience laughs at it, you're just like, man, it's like this sinking of like minds. It's awesome.
Not really. But no, I gotta be honest. Yes, absolutely. I think a lot of my work with you. So every trip I made, every soldier I met, every story I heard, every hospital I visited, kept fueling more of my passion for wanting to be part of a movie that talked about the human behind the soldier, as opposed to what a lot of movies do, which is the soldier within the cause. And for me that was a blessing, and reading the script and jumping on this ensemble with this amazing cast was great, because you get to really mean it, and you get to really do something important with your career and with your acting, and very few times, you get a chance in your career to be part of a project that actually matters, there's a lot of great stuff that you can be a part of, but if you could inject a little bit of subject matter, if you can inject a little bit of humanity, within your work, that's the biggest gift you can have as an actor.
I was incredibly fortunate to have a leader like Ryan Pierce Williams, because from the very beginning he fought for authenticity at every turn, and we met with so many vets and people that were about to go, and Wilmer and I and Diego and Ryan got to spend some time with the National Guard and just spend time with some of these soldiers and just hear the stories that they tell, and just the brotherhood that forms there. And what I think that's so amazing that what Ryan has done is that because it's so human and so just kind of real, it really serves to show that these people aren't alone. That there's shared experience, and I feel like when you're going through this, you can feel completely isolated, and I feel like that's what it really does, and Ryan captured that beautifully. Absolutely. It's interesting just going to airports, flying back and forth from places. You see soldiers, and where you wouldn't have seen them before, all of a sudden I see a soldier anywhere I go. you know, and there's this instant sense of like of respect, and I mean, it's totally changed me.
Well, my commitment to the project came with Ryan Williams, the director, writer's vision. You know, he was so passionate and so committed to telling this story in a way that really spoke to the people that it was about. And he did that with interviewing soldiers who had PTSD, and would talk to him for hours about their experience. He gained the support of the U.S. Army. He did road trips across the country, and I thought, you know, he's really trying to fight for authenticity, which is what Ryan just said. And so I was really, in the beginning, just trying to support him because he seemed like someone who was just, you know, a filmmaker, a writer, director who had such commitment. So that's how it started, and I have to say, you know, a lot of people told him that he wouldn't get it made, he couldn't get it financed in this climate because you know, these movies don't make money. You know, people think that it's maybe too soon or they're too depressing, and I had my own doubts that we'd actually find the money or the funding for it. I loved the script, I believed in the script. But you know, in this climate where people aren't making as many movies and want to make them funny and bright and get people into the audiences, you know, into the seats, I didn't think that it was going to be possible. But because Ryan Williams is who he is, he really found a way to get people to see what he wanted to do. And so then I never intended to be an actor in the movie. I was executive producer. That's what I was going to do, try and get great people involved and you know, put together the team and be there creatively supporting the script and the process. And then I just got too close to it. You know, then I got to meet the soldiers and meet the people from the Army, and then realized, like, it just gets personal when you get to talk to these people and hear their stories and see how much they open up, because they're dying to tell their story. They're dying for someone to want to know.
Absolutely.
And then once I did sign on to be Sarah in the movie, I got to have access to women who had their husbands come home with mental wounds and PTSD, and that was the most enlightening, heartbreaking, encouraging experience I had, because the way that these women would open up, you know, and then the certain things that they would say just made me feel such an obligation to try and tell their side of the story, because it is James's story. He comes home, you know, his integration, but then there's this other beautiful side of, you know, Melissa Leo's character, his mother, me who plays his wife, and then his sister, and the people around him who went to war too. Like, they sacrificed something that they loved so deeply, and when their loved ones come back, they're still fighting that fight to be there and reconnect and love the person that went away. So so my passion just grew and grew as the film went on.